Or now.
All right, then.
Back in the saddle.
Are we on a horse?
This is one fucked up horse if we are.
Oh my gosh. All right. What are we talking about today, Zen?
I mean, you're taking the reins this time. I'm just making fucking horse puns. God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But
Well,
I
this is the Domino Effect
yeah,
with Sammy.
and Zen,
And you are not looking forward to this one.
and Zen. Hey man, you came at me with like full force,
What
and
do
I
you
don't know what to
mean?
expect. You came at me full force. There we go.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. We're talking about gender roles in society.
Yep.
Are you excited about this?
Do I sound excited about this?
Why? Okay.
Hold on. Pause over.
Okay. So why are you not excited for this? For the gender roles?
You
Do you feel
came
like I'm
at
gonna
me.
roast you?
You came at me with some energy before we started this.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. I don't have that energy anymore. That'll be after.
It's a good thing I extinguished that when I did.
You didn't extinguish it. We're just not gonna. I mean, it might come up. It might not. I don't know. But I.
I made a smaller flame.
Okay. You didn't. I, you talking about it's just gonna make me want to bring it up again.
All right, time to get some water.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go out here and say generals suck dick.
Yeah. Okay. What's something like as a male that you feel that's expected of you that you're just like, nah, I'm not. I don't care. Either you don't care about, like, you don't care, like,
Here, yes.
what are some gender roles that you feel that as a male, specifically, just like for right now, we're differentiating between male and female just for right now. We'll probably get into like later um more about like gender in general, but this is just
Uh,
male, female society roles right
shitty
now.
male gender role.
Yes.
Not being allowed to have feelings.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any type of feeling. Like
Yeah.
any.
Other than like anger.
Yeah. Yeah. Toxic and negative ones you're allowed to have, but not any
Basically.
of the good ones. There was this one, I don't know if this was like a comedian said this or if it was just a quote that someone just I remember hearing this and I was like, that is so messed up. And like someone was like, males are allowed to cry 3 times within their life. And it's like I think one of them was like at your baby's birth, your I think your wedding, and then like when your parents die. I think those were like the 3 things they were allowed to cry about. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, that is awful. Like that's insane to me. I was like,
But
I
it's pretty fucking true.
really
It is
like that's
pretty
actually
fucking true,
true.
yeah.
And I know as like a black man, I feel like even um that's even like I feel like you get a lot even more of that type of toxicity of like you can't show feelings, like you can't show fear or anything like that because of who you are,
Cause
like racially as
yeah.
well.
Cause they need to be like fucking call the bitch and shit. It's like don't be a
Yeah,
bitch. That shit.
which is not right at all.
Not
Like
in the
that's not
slightest.
okay. No. Mm-mm. I feel like for women, on the opposite of that, like we can't be anything less than like we have to always be happy and always have to service our men. Like I feel like
Yeah.
back in the days of like the 1950s, like when people think of like society of like just toxic man and women roles, I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
1950s are kind of, for me at least, that's what kind of comes up.
Mm.
And I love the movie Grease, but oof, like some of the thing, not that not that movie, but just like the way that things were set up, I feel like specifically back then, like a man could hit their wife and no one would do anything. Like
Oh
a
yeah.
man could physically and mentally abuse their wife and like there'd be no repercussions. And I know even to this day we still have trouble with that, but like women are definitely more listened to, I think, now, at least in the experiences I have had, than, and I also think that a lot more women will stick up for themselves now.
Oh yeah.
Not saying there are not those cases, because there's definitely those cases for sure. There's an exception to every single rule. Nothing will ever be perfect. But like a man could physically like beat his wife because she didn't. I think there was literally like a law, and I don't remember where it was, but it was like if your wife is talking back to you, basically you could hit her or backhand her, and no one would do it. Like he could do that even like in front of people, like in public,
I think that's
and no one would do
still
anything.
like I think that's still like a very big thing in some other countries too.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Like
very
like
true.
like the shit on didn't stop some
Right,
places.
but I mean specifically here in like in
All
the
right, yeah, I
more
know.
first world countries and things like that. But yeah, no, I mean it still happens for sure. I mean people still stone people to death. So I think, but just in
Jesus.
general of like first world countries, society, and like on the internet, most people are probably going to stick up for the girl that gets abused. I
Yeah.
think so now than they used to,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, if you take, I mean, here's something that kind of was brought today in a different time, but Chris Brown and Rihanna, a lot of
Oh yeah.
people still like Chris Brown,
Yeah.
even though he beat the shit out of Rihanna, like beat her, like you could see the evidence, and still people are just like, like like, and then he beat his other ex girlfriend, I think too, or did something to her. Pretty sure she has like a restraining order on him because he like threw something of hers or something happened. Like,
I don't
but it was
fucking
there
know.
was another like domestic abuse case against him, and he still like just doesn't learn anything. And like and even like people you think that would be very much against that are friends with him and like hang out with him and things like that. So that is an example of like we kind of just forget about it. Now, granted, he is a lot older. He probably I don't know if he has changed or not, but I mean, he was abusive, very abusive.
Yeah.
Um, but I think for a woman, that sticks with her forever.
Oh yeah.
Like if a woman even like tries to defend herself, it's like, well, you called him this or you did this to him. Like I don't blame him for trying to, but like I hear that all the time too, and I think that's very wrong. But I
Hmm.
still think that in general, um, people are going to help rally behind a woman rather than a man when it comes to abuse or um, things of that nature. And even like just domestic cases in general of that nature, I think women have like if the man was actually abused, which does happen, like women can definitely abuse men. Like women, I'm sorry, are like manipulative. Like we just are. We're catty. We're underhanded. And I've seen men that like have been abused by like terrible women,
Hmm.
and they don't get the help that they need. And
That
like a lot
yeah.
more people believe that like, oh well, he probably did something to her. You hear that a lot too, which I think is wrong.
I feel like you can hear a lot about like that, like he
Mm-hmm.
or she did something to whoever on both sides of the fucking
Yeah,
gender
I
thing.
think it just depends on like what specifically it is. Like I don't want to say I'm not going to say anything like but like sexual assault or domestic violence. If a woman like says like, oh, this man did something, almost like 100% of the time the guy's going to get in trouble over the woman,
Oh
even
yeah.
if she did something first or she retaliated too much. Now there is a point, and there's a whole gray area here too. I'm not, there's definitely a gray area of certain things. Like there's a point where like you're both at fault, and like you both need to understand
Mm-hmm.
that like this relationship has gotten to that point. Y'all both need to leave it, that kind of thing. But I also believe that like you can go too far on both sides.
Yeah.
But in circumstances like that, I feel like it's like a woman's like, oh no, he did this to me or blah blah blah. It's like, well, you did it, handcuff immediately for the man rather than the woman.
Basically.
You know,
And I feel like
and I think that's
while
wrong.
we're talking about gender roles, we can
Mm-hmm.
also really start talking about like fucking double standards as well.
Oh yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Like sleeping with people. I think is that what
Oh,
when you were gonna
yeah.
say something?
I wasn't even gonna say something about like that,
What were you thinking?
but like we can go into fucking sleeping with people. Shit.
Yeah, like if it like I feel like if a woman sleeps with more than 3 people, she's a slut. Like, and it's like I feel like three or
That's how
four
she's like
people.
labeled. Yeah.
I feel like more than 3 or 4 people, she's just a hoe or a slut or whatever they want to
Whatever demeaning name you want
Right.
to
But if a man
label
sleeps
someone with.
with like 10 people, oh yeah, bro, like good job. Fist pump.
Yeah, he's like, alpha fucking
Alpha,
Chad.
yeah. Right. And that's I mean, you still slept
And
with
he
10
gets like
people.
fucking, yeah, I was about to say he gets praised for it, but like,
Right.
bro,
Right.
when
It's like
thinking about it, you got more of a chance of getting an STD than she does,
right.
and you just
That's what
called
I'm
her a
saying.
slut, and you got
Right.
fucking gonorrhea now,
But
stupid
it, here
ass.
and the thing is too, it's like it's the same males that do sleep with a bunch of people that will mess with those girls
Oh
that
yeah,
have only maybe slept with. Oh, and here's the thing: if you want to sleep with 100 people, that is your freaking business. Now, granted, safe sex. We say
safe
that all the time on
sex.
this channel.
Yes,
Please, take your shots. There are like the Garcelle shot.
I thought you meant
Do that.
alcohol, but yeah,
No,
doctor shots. Yes,
no. I meant health.
health shots.
Wear condoms, birth control. All of these things, and be safe. Like
There's
if you
so
have
much. There's so many
there,
like
yeah.
contraceptives in 2020.
There's
Like
so many.
you can't just
There's
say like
Plan
I forgot,
B,
bro. You
you
got like
know,
8 different things. To
right? And again, like Planned Parenthood, not evil. They help a lot. They should not be defunded or have anyone take away their money that they desperately need. But yeah, no, I agree completely. There's so
are we
many
just
things that you can do.
we just debunking shit? Flu
Yeah,
vaccine
basically.
doesn't cause
No.
autism. We're
Okay,
gonna
we're
say
not going
that one
into
as
that
well.
today.
But I
We're
mean,
not going
we're
into
gonna
that
keep
one today.
we're gonna keep those two. Keep those two.
Essential oils do not cure cancer. All right, we did it. We said all of that. All
Jesus
right,
Christ.
back to gender roles. No, but I think that I mean I personally have only ever been with one person, um, but that's my business,
Yeah,
and that's no one else's business. Um, if I had slept with 20 people, that is my
that's
business.
still
It's
your
not anybody
business.
else. That's my business, and if my partner wishes to know, then I will tell them. But I don't have to tell them. Um, I think that who you sleep with, or do anything with, or have any type of relationship with, is your business. Um, I think that the double standard on that is ridiculous. Like I will look, and here's the thing too is that like I will look at someone the same. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need nor care to know how many numbers of people that you slept with,
I
but
was
whether
gonna,
you're a man or a woman, I don't. It's still 20 people. It's still 10
yeah,
people. It's still 5 people. Like who cares?
I was gonna say, when it comes to like how many people somebody just slept with, if they're
Mm-hmm.
my partner, personally, I feel like I would
Mm-hmm.
want to know. But if they didn't tell me, I wouldn't like be
Force
like
them.
yeah, I wouldn't like
Right.
force them
No,
to do anything.
I feel the same way. Like if I had slept with more than um, the person I've slept with,
Yeah,
I would have told them. Um, if I personally would have, like, I would have been like very honest about it. I don't think like I wouldn't lie, but I think that if again, like if my partner decided with 20 people or whatever, and they were like, well, it's about this much, and I'm like, okay, do you want to get more specific, or is that all you're going to tell me? I might I have pushed a little bit on it at times
mm-hmm,
when I was younger,
mm-hmm.
but it's not that big of a deal anymore. Like I don't care. Um, but yeah,
I feel like the more
I've
you
never
age, the less of a big deal it is too.
definitely. Well, because I feel like we all have past, and like
Yeah,
I think it goes back to like when you get older, you just don't care as much about certain things.
yeah.
For some people, it really matters, and but here's the thing: if it really matters to you, find someone else that it matters to as well, like that you want to be with. If someone that you're with like doesn't care, but yet you do, and like you guys are having fights about it, that's not a relationship that y'all should be in. I don't care if you're perfect
Nah,
everywhere
yeah.
else. Sexual things like that are gonna come up, especially if it's like a guy and he's like, I need to know what my how much my whoever my woman has slept with. It's like, no, you don't. Go sit your dick in a corner and think about what you just said. Like,
take your dick off
yes,
of your
because that's
body
what
and
he's
put it
thinking
in a
with.
corner.
That's what he's thinking with though, because he like I feel like that's a very possessive and jealous thing.
But I
Like that's
feel
a
like
trait.
if you're gonna do that as well, it's got to go both ways.
But see, that's what I'm saying though. Like if she doesn't care, why should he?
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. But it can. But again, the other way around. If you're a woman and you're just harping and harping and harping, go sit your vagina in a corner and think about what you did. You know what I mean? Like I'm serious. Like you're thinking with your parts and not with your head with who you are with. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have all these other great, amazing qualities. Who cares if he slept with whoever many people? And I've seen relationships where like the guy has slept with like 100+ people, and the girl has only slept with like two guys. And she kind of looked at him. She kind of looked at him a little bit different, and she's like, "You've slept with that many people?" He's like, "Yeah," but he's like, "But you get the benefit from
Oh.
it because I know how to do everything." And she's just like,
Oh.
um, she's like, "I still love you, but I
But
feel uncomfortable a little
no.
bit right now."
Yeah.
She's like, but she was honest about it. She kind of, but she's like, but then 5 minutes later, she's joking. Like it doesn't, maybe behind closed doors, y'all can talk about it. Like, and here's the thing: 100+ people don't do that.
That's a lot of fucking people.
I'm gonna judge you whether you're a woman or a man. That's a lot of
That's a
people.
lot of. Ooh, that just
That's a
reminded
lot
me.
of people.
That just reminded me. I remember people that I met in college kept count of how many people they slept with.
Like a
Not
little
good.
black book
Not
type of thing.
not like that. Not like an actual
Oh,
physical book, but like they kept mental count, and I don't even know if they like gloated about it. But like if somebody asked them about it,
ooh.
they were quick to say how many they fucking slept with, and I'm just like,
See, that's an image. See, I think
I
that's
don't
a
like
very
that.
immature thing to do. Was that a male or a female? It was a male, wasn't
It
it?
was a male. It was a male.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Um, for what they were doing, not the fact that they were sleeping with people. That's their business. Um, but yeah, I think that
I was like,
that is
ugh.
very.
All right.
What's another like double standard that you don't like?
uh,
I can think of one
I was about to say
if
you
you
can
don't
do
have one.
yours. Yeah.
Men and women in the kitchen.
What do you mean?
Like I feel like I know more. Like there are better. I know not better, but there are more famous. I feel like TV, like on TV, like male chefs, and there are women, but yet still you get the joke of like women should be in the kitchen, but yet
Oh
they'll be
yeah.
watching like Bobby Flay or Gordon Ramsay or
Bobby
whatever, and it's
Flay.
like, excuse me, do you not see what they're doing? They're making a freaking gourmet ass meal, and you're telling me to go into the kitchen and make it. And now, I personally, I do like cooking. I feel like I do very much fall into like a very much like a gender norm type of female. I will say that. I prefer wearing dresses. I am a t-shirt and jeans kind of girl in more of like the colder months, but like in the hot months, I do prefer like summer dresses. I do always cook. I am the one always cleaning. But like I also like one of my love languages, like giving wise, is like showing that like I like doing extra service for people I care about.
Mm.
So like I feel like doing those things is my way of showing I care. But I also just like enjoy doing those things.
Yeah.
And that's just a very me thing. But I've known men that like absolutely like they are house dads. And let me tell you, best fucking grilled cheese I've ever had in my damn life. Okay. And pancakes. Like my father and mother, like I grew up with my father and mother like both in the kitchen. So I
Mm-hmm.
never really understood. And all Italian men know how to make some kind of sauce or pasta or yeah, they all know how to make a sauce and they all know how to make a
A
noodle. Okay, I'm
sauce.
telling you right now. Yes, it's a sauce.
It's a
Okay, it's a
sauce.
sauce. It's a sauce. Okay, but no, they do. Or just like my grandfather, I made homemade ravioli with that man.
Mm.
So yeah, and I made homemade noodles with him too. My grandmother made the filling, but he made the bread and like, or not the bread, but like the dough and everything for those noodles. Like he was the one that was like showing me how to do it. Um, but no, but I think that like men who are like who expect like food on the table right as they get home and like expect that and like do so in a very like toxic way, I think is ridiculous.
Oh nah, I've firsthand I've seen like how long it fucking takes to cook, and I've done it before. And I'm like, bro,
I was with you.
yeah, you were with me that time, and I was like, bro, if somebody expected me to do this shit when they got home, like I gave a damn, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right. But that's what I'm saying though. Like it's cooking takes see cooking is not hard. It's just tedious little things that you have to do.
Fucking
And it's
tedious.
timing. And it's timing too, like of when knowing it's done. And like I can tell things by smell. Like I could walk away from something and tell by smell. There are certain things like I don't walk away from. Like I don't really walk away from soups or stews, but like if I'm making a grilled cheese, I can like I'm obviously like not so far away in the house, but like if I'm just like in my living room, I can tell by smell when I'm
Three
supposed to flip it.
stories up.
Yeah, right. No, I
Fucking
can tell by
getting that,
smell when I'm supposed to flip it.
getting
But I
that
think for other
smell on
people,
like a cartoon.
the smoke rising.
just fucking floats you to the goddamn kitchen.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like I think that's ridiculous. Like
Oh yeah.
cooking takes a lot of work and a lot of tedious work. The end result is great, but even like simple meals take forever to make. And I think it's ridiculous if people, especially I think on the woman's side of it, like if your man expects you to do that, I think that's ridiculous.
Mm.
He can get his ass in the kitchen too and make himself something. Now, again, if that's something that y'all decided on, that's your business. That's your relationship.
Yeah.
And again, we both know there's other types of relationships. We all know of like gay and lesbian relationships of, but we're specifically just talking about like male, female
Yeah.
gender norms right now. We'll go into another discussion about gender itself in a different topic with a special guest on that one probably. Um, but I I think for me, like I think it's a double standard that is
Oh yeah.
just ridiculous.
And if one of y'all can't cook, I feel like
Y'all
I was
screwed.
about to say one of y'all just gotta bite the bullet for your like both of
Yeah.
y'all both of y'all's health and safety to fucking it's just
And
someone cooks or you just order takeout.
which would be terrible.
I
Like
mean, it's like the lesser of two evils.
right, but what I'm saying, but you don't want that all the time.
But do you like life?
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is like if you don't like cooking, you have got to marry someone that at least
oh yeah.
like is okay with cooking.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I have a friend, one of my girls back home. She hates cooking with like a passion, and both of her parents don't like cooking either. But like her dad's like they're very like traditional older couple, and he kind of expects like her mom to cook, but her mom hates it too, and she just never grew up with anybody like cooking. So like her mom would make meals and things, but like any like big meals for like Thanksgiving or whatever. Sometimes when she got older and she was my friend, she would have half the time she'd come over to my house, but the other times like her parents would just take her to like the grandparents' house, which I think is really
Damn.
funny. Yeah, her sister knows how to cook and her sister likes cooking.
Mm.
So I think when her sister was still in the house, her sister would make a lot of things. But I think after a while, like after her sister moved and like got married herself, like they just I know for a fact they like whenever she come to my house, she's like, oh my gosh, I just love coming here. Your mom cooks, you cook, your dad cooks, your brothers cook. I'm like, yes, because we like to eat, so we have to learn how to cook. Um, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I think it's just it's really funny when she talks about it. I love her. She's like one of her criteria. She's like, I have to have a man that knows how to cook. She's like, I hate it. I'm like, you're
Mm.
crazy. But you know what though? Like she knows that like she loves food. She's my friend. Of course she loves food. And she knows that like that is something that like she wants to have in a partner, like someone who wants to cook and things like that, because she knows that she's not going to do it. And I think
Mm.
that's fine. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Like at all. Um, something else that I think is interesting for um, gender roles is the man proposing to the woman. How do you feel about that? Or the man paying for dinner?
Oh, the fucking man paying for everything. I hate it.
Yeah.
I like evenness and fairness.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like if it's there are gonna be times where it's just like I'm fucking paying. Fuck you. Don't take
Right.
don't take
Right.
out your wallet. Go fuck yourself. I'm paying. End of
Right.
discussion.
Right. Right. Right.
But if like that has not been like brought up, I feel like you should expect to pay for your own meal.
I mean, I think it depends on who asked who out. I think whoever asked the person out should be the one paying. Now, when you get into a serious relationship and you guys are both very secure and equal, and I mean equal, like there's sometimes where like one of you might need more, the other, whatever. Um, but I think that like okay, here's an example. My parents were together a while and then they got married and my mom was the one working. So my mom was actually paying for more than my dad because he was in
Mm,
college getting his master's.
mm.
So I think that's a really good example of while like my dad, I don't know if he had a job or not at the time. I can't honestly remember what she told me, but I know for a while like she was paying most of the bills. She was paying for, like if they wanted something, like it was her money that they were using. Because again, my dad he was in school, they got married, the whole shebang. So it's just like I think that in that instance, like she was the one with the money, she was the one paying, like, but that's what they decided on. Um, and again, they were married at the time, so any money, I feel like whenever you're married is your money, his money, whoever's money, like it's a joint thing. I think you can have, and I'm not even gonna go to like the separate bank accounts, whatever. That's your own business. I have, you know, thoughts on that too, but it's really just whatever you feel is comfortable for y'all to do. Like as a couple, it makes sense, I think. Um, but like she was the one paying for most of it at that time. But earlier in their relationship, my dad would, if he invited my mother out when they didn't live together and they weren't married, he was the one paying because he was like, I invited you out, you're not gonna pay, you know? Or, sometimes she would pay and it wouldn't be like it would be one bill still, but she would maybe like leave a tip or something. I
Mm.
think that's
I
still
think that
like
one's
being
good.
fair.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
think that's still fair. I don't think it has to be like a 50-50 fairness, but I think whoever invites whoever out should be the one paying, whether male or female, doesn't matter. Like let's say like if I got invited out on a date
Mm-hmm.
and I was the one being invited out, I would expect you to pay for me, like because you're inviting me out. Now I would have money ready in case whatever, but I don't think it's right. Like I know women who they literally will turn to their boyfriends and just expect them to pay for everything. Like I used to work in
That's more what
retail.
I'm looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in retail, and you could just see like they didn't even take out anything. Like they just sit there and like look at their boyfriend, and then like he'd look at her. He's like, oh, I guess I like. I'd always hear the joke of like, oh, I guess I'm paying, and she's like, yeah, like, and then the girl would like go do whatever she was doing. I've seen so many guys be like, now sometimes it'd be like a joke,
Mm-hmm.
and then and maybe she's like, well, I got lunch for you, babe, and then you're paying for this, and
Yeah.
he's like,
You got me
whatever,
$10 a
babe,
lunch, and I'm
right?
paying for $100 worth of clothes. Such
Or
a
whatever.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that's their business, but whatever. But like you don't know their financial situation or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
But when a woman is always expected, or when a woman always expects like her man to pay, I think that's ridiculous, and that's coming from like a woman. Like that's just ridiculous to me. I could never have a man pay for everything that I do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
except in a marriage, that's different. But um, that's like our, well, I say that with it like it's our money. That's how I view it. It's like our money collectively, like we divvy. But I also am just better at finances, like within things. So I was the one that does the budget and the finances for the household. So like I knew how much money was in the account
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. So I think it's a little different. But yeah.
It might just be because I'm single, but I'm valuing more independence over everything. I'm starting to see
Independence.
Yeah,
I think again, but that could be because you're single.
yeah.
You know, and I think that also contributes to what you want in a person as well. You know,
Hmm.
but let's say like 5 years down the road, you're in a really deep, committed relationship. You probably won't give a crap about who's paying for what, unless, they make more money than you and you know that they can afford, this nicer dinner or whatever. And it's just kind of like an unspoken thing that you both decide on. I think that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm I'm just
But
thinking about it now.
you can't
Yeah,
think about it
I was about
now
to say
'cause you're
thinking about it right now.
single.
I'm sure just like, you know what? If I was going to dinner with her, I would pay for my own meal. That's just like I'm not.
What if
I'm
you
not
were
gonna.
married, though?
I'm still paying for my own meal.
So you're going to make your wife pay for her part
No,
of the
I'm
meal and
saying
then you pay for her?
I'm at least always gonna pay for my own meal. That's what I'm saying.
Really? You
At
would never
least.
allow...
No, at least
Really?
I can pay for her too. I'm just saying at least I'm always gonna pay for my own meal.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, you would never let your woman pay for you, like, out ever?
Don't think so.
Really? See, that's interesting to me. That is very interesting to me. Why do you feel that way?
Because I feel like if I'm going out to eat, then I should have had the money squared away before I even thought about it.
Okay, but see, that's different. Having the money is different than paying, though. I will always have money on deck if I, like, let's say, like, whatever. But I'm saying, like, for you, if you're in a relationship, I know
Yes.
it's hard for you to think about it, but, like, because you're single, very single, ready to mingle, guys.
Don't.
Trying to get you on a date.
Let's not do that now. This isn't a fucking goddamn dating show. The fuck?
Oh, we should do that one.
Let's
time.
not.
Let's do that. I want to do that now. That sounds like fun for me.
All right, this has been the Domino Effect. Jesus.
That would be so much fun though for me. Just to like
I was about to say for you.
I can smack. I can ask wild ass questions and you can just suffer. That sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna write this down.
And guess what's not gonna come to fruition? That shit right there.
Anyway, no, but I like what if she makes like a shit ton more money than you and like wants to pay for you?
Nope.
Really?
Yep.
Not even then.
Yep.
What if it's like a $500 meal? Not even then?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I don't understand that. I don't
Why not?
understand that at all, actually. I don't know. I never like would have thought that you would be on that side of it.
Yeah.
Do you just feel like because you ate the food, you're responsible for it?
Yes, honestly.
That's literally it. Like it's not even because you're
Basically.
like a man, like it's
No.
a woman. Like it's
No,
just
it's not.
you
It's not
ate
because
that
of
food.
like.
It's like your responsibility.
Yeah, it's solely because I
See, I feel
ate
like-
the food.
I feel like whenever you go out, you're just gonna be the one paying for like the food.
It is what it is.
Okay, well, I guess we both fall into the gender norms of that one. Well, I guess it's not true because I've paid for dates before even being married. So, with my own money. So, I mean, I guess I'm a little bit more.
I am thinking about this, like, because I'm always the one that probably asks people out to eat and shit. Like, nobody actually is like, hey, do you want to go get something to eat? And I'm just like,
I do. I would.
I appreciate it.
But we're not dating.
I was about to say, number one, we're not dating.
Friends.
And number two, you're nowhere near me. So.
That's very true. Grubhub? I don't know.
Grubhub?
I've had offers of friends like be like, I'll buy you Grubhub, like just eat with me, and I'm like, no, I don't feel like it. I'll order my own food, thanks.
I don't know. That's weird to me.
It was that's why I didn't say
That's
yes.
Weird to me.
Anyway, moving along with that. So you really would not ever. I'm sorry, I'm harping on this. Okay, moving along.
Your fucking mind is blown.
It really is because like I've never known. That's just weird to me. Okay, anyway, moving along. What's another thing that, like, as a male, you feel like is expected of you that you're okay with or that you're not okay with? Like, what's something that you can think of? Zen.
I'm
think
thinking.
of three
I'm
things right now.
You come prepared. All right, listen.
Do you just wing it the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, my cheese and rice. I at least have things I want to talk about.
You know what? You had this topic. I had the last topic.
Okay. What do you think about, like, marriage proposal?
What do I think about marriage proposals?
Do you think that a man should be the one proposing?
Literally, if they're fine with it, they could propose to me. I don't. Like, if we're on that, yeah. If we're on that level, like, if you just want to propose right there and we're down, fuck it.
You're like, I'm down to get proposed to. You heard it here first. Zen is down to get proposed to. Ladies, we're gonna definitely do a Zen's dating game. I am definitely doing that.
I don't like that. I don't like that in the slightest.
Here's the thing, no, I do. So we're gonna do it at some point.
See,
and we're gonna have
here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Both the girls and the people. I'm gonna have your mother be on because she loves me.
No,
and she
you're
can
not.
Roast you too.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna come
Good
where
luck.
you are. I'm be like, Mama Zen, we're gonna roast your son, and she'll be like, I'm down. And we're gonna have a dating show.
No, she's gonna be like, roast. What do you do?
We're gonna roast him in front of women that we're gonna potentially set him up with. That's what's gonna happen.
And he's gonna look at. She's gonna look at me like, what the fuck did you do? What am I being roped into?
I'll explain it to her. Don't worry. No. What? So you're down, like, either way, like, you don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. I feel like men engagement rings are not the same as women, so would you still buy her one even if she proposed to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, rings, don't care. I don't care if it's like metal. I don't care if it's like diamond. It could be fucking plastic if like rubber. I don't. Rings ring.
There's a lot of people that like silicone rings and they wear those, and then in case like their actual one gets lost. I personally like my own ring.
The whole fucking diamond industry, I just never fucking got into.
I prefer gemstones, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think they're harvested a lot easier, and I think they're nicer looking than diamonds, to be honest.
And cheaper.
And well, but it doesn't even. I just think they look prettier. Honestly, that's literally what it comes down to. I once looked at a pearl engagement ring, and it was beautiful, and it was just a pearl. And like the guy, it was on a video. I was watching like wedding proposals at one point, and the guy like actually like you saw him like getting in like a pearl like oyster and like opening it up and like literally like made it like a whole ass process.
I like
which I think is pretty cool.
I fucking like that.
And then like there's some people that'll do like quartz. And, like, they'll go and, like, get the actual quartz that they'll use for, like, their wives or fiancés, like, ring, which is cool. Just, like, different things like that. Like, there's places where you can go and, like, mine for things like that. And, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like, a couple in Colorado. I'm, like, just everywhere. But, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I'm not saying you have to do all that.
Oh, no.
But I just think that's, like, a cool idea. Like, you made that ring for her. That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
And while it might not be, you know, $12,563 million.
There's another fucking stereotype. It's like you got to drop like a fuck ton, like a metric fuck ton of money on a ring,
which I think is ridiculous. Like, even
like,
as a woman, I'm like, that is ridiculous. I'm not, especially if it's like a simple ass band. Excuse me, why does that cost more than like
why is that
from this
$1,800?
Yeah. But I think that's ridiculous. And they're like, oh, well, it's a certified, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Give me a lab fucking diamond if need be. Like, I don't care. Like, that's, children in Africa are dying for that.
Get me
asshole.
A ring pop.
Okay, I want something a little bit more than that, but if it's the blue raspberry swirl flavor, I won't say no. Or the watermelon swirl flavor, I'm not gonna turn you down.
Oh my god.
You heard it here first, people.
People fucking writing that shit down.
I know, they'll be like, "Oh, Sammy said we could do it this way." No, I think it's definitely like, obviously, like who you want to be with. Their preferences will need to be. I mean, that's the ring they're gonna wear forever. I think you should ask them. What?
Imagine going to a convention and just like there's just 20 dudes with ring pops.
We knew that. Yeah. That's a very.
They're just surrounding the table.
And they're all dressed up too. Yeah. Like, it's like a Comic-Con convention or like an anime one, and they're all dressed up and they're all just having ring pops.
They've got fucking ring pops in their hand. Oh, I'd love it.
That can someone just like, if we ever get famous enough to do like a meet and greet, I want that to be a thing. Like, ring pop, sponsor us, and then we'll always have ring pops that we'll give out to people for people to get engaged over. Okay?
Fuck it.
That's gonna be a thing now. It's canon.
It's canon.
Yeah, I think no, but I think like whoever you're with, like, it's, obviously, like, try to do to their preferences, like,
Yeah.
Go on their Pinterest board. Trust me, boys, women, whatever. That's the best thing to do. Moving along. What's another? I'm trying to think of like more gender roles. I think a lot of what I know for gender roles would be like through like marriage and like just that sort of thing. But and the thing is too is that like while I was raised to be like a girl, like my parents were very like traditional in that sense. Like my dad liked me in longer hair, dresses, that kind of thing. They never like pushed anything onto me or that kind of thing. And like my dad would clean and cook, and like I grew up like watching him do that, and so did my brother. So I don't think that like I didn't grow up in like a very like mom did this, dad did this type of thing. And he like would play with us and like would do activities with us. I think like just a woman raising her kids just having a woman raise her kids, like, I'm sorry, you created this baby, go fucking change the fucking diaper, because I've been with the baby all day and I also breastfeed. Bitch, get your ass up and go change the diaper at least once or twice. I'm tired, my titties are sore, go do something. Like, I don't understand why men are like so upset about having to change a diaper. That infuriates me. Or like when they'll bring their kids to something like, oh, sorry, I had to babysit the kids. Excuse me. No, you mean raise your babies. Those are your fucking babies. You put the penis into her vagina and fermented that, like, fertilized. Like, no. Go to hell. Listen, I'm on a rant right now. I'm sorry.
I know.
Fertilize that egg inside of her. You gave that baby their extra Y chromosome. That's taking care of your child. That's not babysitting. Fucking asshole. Are you kidding me? Babysitting your children. Your own children. No. That is not, no. You do not reference it or refer to it as babysitting your kids. That is taking care of your children. You are a father. Act like one.
Oh yeah, that's something I'll never do, is like not be a father to my kid. Like, yeah. I'll look at that child and just like, oh, I did this. This is my responsibility.
And here's the thing too, I'm never gonna like parent shame anybody. Like, how you raise your kids is how you raise your kids. I do think there's like a right and wrong way of like certain, like, don't fucking abuse your children. That I will judge you on. Like, that's ridiculous. But I mean, like, I don't like, there are so many women that feel as if like they don't have a special bond because so many women are like, well, you didn't breastfeed your kids. Maybe they couldn't, or maybe they just didn't freaking want to. Like, leave them alone. Oh, because they had a C-section, they didn't give real birth. Excuse me, they had to have their insides, like, they had to cut open into their insides, pull everything out as well as their baby. Honestly, that sounds more dangerous than just that sounds pushing worse a fucking baby thing. Out. Exactly. I mean, I think they both have, different things about them. I hope I don't have to have a C-section because I would prefer a natural birth. I actually want to do a water birth, and there's a whole issue with that too. But it makes sense for me because of the way that like I have medical issues and things like that. That's the other thing too. A lot of women have medical issues. Like, giving birth whether it's through C-section or natural birth or what have you, is a wonderful, amazing, painful, awful experience, that women have. And let them do what they need to do to make sure that they are healthy, the baby is healthy, because that's their business and that is their child. As long as they're healthy, like the baby's healthy, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay? We don't mom shame or dad shame on this channel. No, I think that's just ridiculous. Like, or like if a man has an opinion on, I think they can have an opinion on certain things of like how they want to raise their child. But when it comes to like, hey, like, why do you not want to breastfeed? I think they should question it that way instead of just being like, well, why aren't you? No, it's like, why do you not want to? I think there's different wording that you can use, and I think men should have input because that's their child. I think that is also their child. Like, it does take two to tango. While yes, you're the one that grew the child, your man should be involved in the baby's life if he wishes to be and should have certain opinions. However, it shouldn't be a fight and it should be worded differently than how a lot of people I think like word things as well.
Yeah.
But ultimately it's up to y'all together to decide on what y'all want to do for your child. No one else's. Yours. Yeah, that's my view on that. I feel like, as long as you're not endangering your baby, I don't care what you do with the baby. That is your baby. But yeah, men who act as if like raising their child, like they just want to be like a fun parent, get the fuck out of my house. Like, I will not put up with that. I wouldn't even put that up with like my friends' kids. I would then be like, excuse me, come get your child. They're being bad. Or, I'm not calling your wife. I'm calling you because you're the one I know. You're the one home because your wife is out having a relaxing day at the spa that she fucking deserves because your dumbass decides to be rude to her all the time and rude to the baby. Come get your fucking child because they're hitting my child or something. Like, you are their father.
I feel like that came from somewhere.
It did, but that's a whole ass another story.
All right.
My mother.
You did. You don't have to get into it.
Yeah. My dad was a great dad, though. I'm sure he messed up. My mother messed up. They're only human, but my parents were great. I have fond memories of both my parents. Like my dad, I remember my dad changing diapers. Did he like to do it? No one likes changing diapers. Okay, like I'm sorry. Newsflash, guys. We don't like doing it just as much as you do, but that's my child, and I don't want them to have diaper rash.
I don't think anybody would like to change a diaper.
No, it's really not even that bad, though. Like, I don't understand why. Baby poop is way different than, like, grown-up poop. Anyway, never thought I'd ever say those words on a podcast, but I did. So, there's that.
I mean, you also never thought you could be on a podcast, but no, here's episode 4.
I feel like people have been wanting me to do one for a while. Anyway, that's beside the point. Back to gender roles. Yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Other than like, I'm gonna be a father to my children.
I
don't know what to say now because
I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to word it.
Okay.
I'm going to be the fun dad, but I'm also not gonna be the person that doesn't discipline their kids. And that doesn't tell them right from wrong. Like I'm still gonna be that laid back fucking goofy ass bitch ass dad because that's just me.
But your personality though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like different people have different personalities. I don't think that's like a bad thing to being, like where you might maybe be labeled as like the fun parent to your friend's kid, to your friends who have kids as well, or like to your kids or to your kids' friends. But like, I think that like there needs to be like. If mom said like, hey, they can't have cookies, don't just like give them cookies because you're the fun.
And it's like, fuck it, yeah.
Right. Like you guys are a unit, I think parents that don't unit together, I think that does cause a little bit of like confusion with children. But again, I'm not going to shame y'all. That's your business. That's not my business. Y'all don't pay me.
Kind of like imprints a little bit of favoritism on them.
Yeah. Which I think is wrong. I don't think that you should try to have your child or children favorite you over the other parent. Like you guys are parents together.
Yeah. I'm not even saying like they're trying to do it, but like there's probably like
I think
favoritism
some people
to be
try
had.
to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's people that want
but
to like.
I think a lot of times, like 9 times out of 10, like it's just they're just doing it because of whatever. Like they just don't care, or for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely agree. I think that's good though. I think that's good that like you, and I think you're gonna be like a good dad, and like you are probably gonna be like more of like the funny like goofy dad on the block. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
In like hindsight,
Mm-hmm. Like I want to be strong enough to be able to think that I could raise them by myself.
That's interesting. Really?
It goes all back to independent.
That's true. You are a very independent person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you would be like one of those dads that'd be like, I would be a single father, and I
could be fine with that.
I would hate it for my children, and I would hate it for the fact like I don't have anyone else like to help me.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to do it.
But yeah.
I think that's very admirable.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's tons of people that like could never even think of being a single parent. Like that don't go into like wanting or needing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm also gonna make sure my child's not a snowflake, but that's besides the point.
Oh, that's a whole different conversation.
That's a different conversation.
That's a whole
that might be next Friday.
Maybe.
Yes. Maybe. Lining things up.
We have a lot of stuff planned, y'all.
Hell yeah.
Any final thoughts at all, like on gender norms?
You know, I never thought of that fucking gender norm that I was thinking of. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do you, actually, in a stereotypical family, do you expect the man to make more than the woman?
No.
Okay.
I
didn't think so.
No.
Did not think so in the slightest.
I think the thing is too is that I don't think that like that's so much of a thing anymore.
I was about to say that one's not as much of a thing.
I feel like a lot more women now want to have their own financial freedom. Actually, let me rephrase that. I don't think women ever really wanted to not have financial freedom. I think they just didn't have the choice before, and I think now that more women have that choice because of people who have fought for us to have that choice, like for voting and all that stuff, and to have like good jobs and to be what they wish to be. I think that no, like I don't care. I think that like more women would like to have their own money.
Oh, I just thought of one.
What is it?
Sexuality in terms of like same sex shit. Like girlfriends can kiss each other and no one bats an eye. But if you see two dudes kiss each other, it's
like they're gay.
Yes.
Automatically.
Yeah, it's auto gay.
So you mean like showing affection to your friends?
Yes. Like the whole fucking meme of kissing your homies goodnight. A lot of people say that shit's gay. Now,
I grew up in a southern Italian.
I was about to say, while I'm not the person to kiss my homies goodnight, I don't think you have the right to say if something's gay or not. You don't know what the fuck like that friend group is.
Yeah. Like just showing affection in general to your friends, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've probably kissed all my friends. Like, and I don't even mean like, oh, I've made out. No, like I've like, hey girl, like what's up? You know, like a peck on whatever, like the cheek or the lips or, what have you. Like, but like I grew up in a very Italian Southern home. We were just kissing fiends. Like we greeted each other. We said goodbye. We left a fucking room and we were kissing each other on the cheek. Like it was just a thing. Yeah, my family's very affectionate. But which I think is like when I was younger, I was very affectionate and very touchy. I'm also just like that in general now. Even I just know better. Like some
Mm-hmm.
people don't like that, but when you're 5, you don't know that shit. And when people be like, "You can't hug them," and I'd be like, well, "Why though? I love them." And they'd be like, "Well, Samantha, Sammy, whatever. You can't just go up to people and just start hugging them." And like my 5-year-old brain didn't understand it. My 26-year-old brain does though. So it's just like, I would also cry a lot if I didn't get a hug from people. But
I was
again,
about
I
to
was
say,
5,
you know what?
so
I'm gonna say this. If you hugged someone in public, like and it was just like a fucking real loving hug, I don't think many people would be opposed to it.
me in
Hot,
general,
hot,
or just in,
like
or
just
like,
hot case. Like if you just hug somebody
oh,
randomly in public, and it's like
mm,
let them know that they were loved. That
well, right, but you only do that with very like people you're like friends
yeah.
with though. Like you wouldn't do that to like a
No, but I'm
stranger.
saying to
But
strangers. If you did that to strangers, I don't think many people would not agree with it. Like they would like be like offended by it.
you think they would be offended? Yeah,
No, I think they wouldn't be offended.
really.
Yes.
I think it depends on who. I think men, if
It
a man is hugging a woman, I don't think she's gonna be okay with that. I would not be okay with that. I'd probably punch
yeah.
you in the fucking throat.
Yeah,
Not
that's
you,
true.
but just like
No, I
any
know.
male.
I know.
But I would also be really confused. I think more people would be confused. They wouldn't be offended again, but I wouldn't want a big ass male coming up to me. I'm 5'2.5",
And
and
a
I'm
half.
sorry, big ass 6 foot. The half matters anyway. Listen, male is that I don't know is about to come up the fuck time. I'd be like, "Excuse you, sir." No, like I would be offended because like I'm sorry, I don't know you. But if it's like friends and like I know them and you know, like we just had a heart to heart conversation or hell, if we just said hello, like yeah, give me a fucking hug, bitch. Like what are you doing?
Give me a fucking
Um,
hug, bitch.
but no, like I completely agree. I think showing affection is definitely something that like men cannot do to other men without it being labeled as gay or whatever,
Oh
or
yeah.
being looked at as like, oh, you guys are hugging. It's like, huh,
Oh,
whatever.
and that's a race
Like,
by
excuse
race
me.
basis too.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah.
I can't say that just because like I
100%.
don't really like I've heard, but I don't know how. I feel like a lot of black men are pretty affectionate though towards each other.
Is that publicly though?
They do the bro hug,
Mm.
but some of those bro hugs are like very affectionate.
Mm.
I feel
No, it's definitely like
have less standards for men when it comes to dating
mm-hmm.
than now granted there are those women out there that have very high standards, but even then I feel like a lot of them will drop half of the list that people will have in their heads of like who they want to be with if they find something that they're very compatible with, whereas men do not do that as much.
No.
I think men have very high standards for themselves and for the women that they're dating. A lot of them do, from what I've seen from that generation, from and not even just from from that age group. I think as men and women get older, we don't care at all, like on equal sides as much. But I think like in teens and in younger college years, I feel like men do want XYZ for their women to be a certain way because it's like a prize or it's like a trophy almost.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like definitely like you care a lot less the more you age.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even gonna say I was like picky when I was younger, but like I
Mm-hmm.
did have a lot of like
Criteria.
higher criteria, like higher standards, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Yeah.
even then, like a few months down, I was just like, bro, what the what? Why? What are
Well,
all
you're
these for?
also right, but you're also not, like an asshole. So,
I'm an asshole to a regard, but not like that.
right, right, right. You respect women in a way
Yeah,
that very few men in this world do.
which I
And
still
I can
find
honestly,
surprising.
it's the truth though.
That's the problem.
And that's kind of why we were talking about this is why it's a problem. And again, there's nothing wrong with having preferences or having people like going back to like whenever you're in a relationship and like one of you is probably going to cook and clean more than the other one. Okay. Yeah. But I've also known couples like one of them just cooks and one of them will just clean. I've known couples that are like that. And it's just, that's what they decided on. You know, it's what you decide on that balances it out. But I don't think it's fair for one person to do all of that and not expect either help or some type of like evenness of other things.
Yeah.
And I don't think financial support is something that is even. I think it's very important, and I do think that like it brings a lot to the table, yes. But I don't think that equals out to cleaning and cooking and taking care of a child.
Oh no.
Me, you would not be able to afford me if I like there was a man that literally like he was like, my wife is a stay-at-home wife. He's like, and I could not afford it. He wrote a whole article, and I was like, that is just genius. The amount of respect that man has for his wife to physically like make a budget and like be like a personal nanny is this much, and then like a personal chef is this much, and then a personal like maid is this much, like because that's what she does for him. She's his she's his wife, but like you know when you
think about all those fucking jobs that she might be doing.
Exactly. And raising his child and like also, and the thing is too, he also put like an article, like being a partner, being like his wife. He put, I think like priceless or something on it. And I'm just like, that's amazing. Like, he's like, I could never afford her. He's like, why would the hell would I make her feel like crap if she doesn't do the dishes one day? When she was helping our son, I think it was a son, when she was helping her son like learn his letters or something.
Or just like
why the hell would I get mad at her? Or why would I get mad at her if she was tired for that? You know, like she had a rough day with the kid. Like he was like, I think he's like, granted, like you're gonna get frustrated at each other and like that's life. But he's like, I could not afford her and I am so grateful. It was just such a sweet, touching like thing. And it's just like all men should read that. Or just like people who think that financial things like when they're like, well, I provide for this family, but it's like they read that and see if you actually provide for this family. Because trust me, it does not even out. It does not even out.
It's a thought of time over money. Or money over time.
Yeah, right. But if you're paying someone by the hour for those things, they're expensive. Like a personal maid is a lot of money.
That's why I'm not getting one.
It's a lot of money.
All right, I might get one of those.
Well, you don't like cooking. But
you're correct.
But what I'm saying is that like when you break it down like that, like you can never afford that. And I just think that like I think everything does even out eventually. Hopefully it does for you. I pray that, you know, you all have good relationships and all that ish. Again, you're not going to not have problems because that's just impossible. We're all human. But I do think that like when it comes to male versus female in that type of regard, stop fucking complaining. Like stop complaining. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair because she literally has a full-time job at home,
and then you possibly at work as well,
and now like possibly at work, and you're expecting her to do all these things for you. Go fuck yourself. Like, no, that's not okay. So I think that
damn, being a dad probably would be easier for me. Just think about it. I'm doing streaming now. I could just stream with a baby.
Do you know how many views you would get with the baby?
I wasn't even like thinking about views, but I was like, bro, I could be like multitasking and shit. I just gotta remember to not yell because baby.
Because baby. How? Oh my gosh, I can see you literally being one of those dads that has like the little like rap thing, and just the baby's just like sitting on your chest.
Yep.
And then you just like
That's
play with the baby. That's
exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Do you know how many views you would get if you? Now here's the thing though. Don't do that, and then your wife get mad for showing off the baby.
Oh yeah,
don't do that.
That's got to be a conversation first.
That like that's gonna happen, but like I would. Honestly, like I'd be one of those girls to be like, the man has a child. Like I and they would just be there for the baby. But like even so, that's more views, that's more money, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you could even just be like, daddy and baby. You could do like a fucking vlog or stream with that. Like, do you know how many people like watch those types of things?
True.
You know, because like, oh, he's being a good dad. No, he's being a father that's taking care of his child. That's the thing that irritates me. Going back to that, actually, taking care of your child is not being a good parent. That's being a fucking parent.
That's just base parent.
That's base parenting. And there's a double standard with men taking care of their child over women. Like, women, it's just expected to be. Like, you're just expected to take care of your child. Whereas a man, it's like, oh, well, you just had to fuck her, basically, and get her pregnant. Like, you didn't have any hand in that? Are you kidding me? I had to suffer through 9 months, and then probably like 9 more months for breastfeeding, maybe even more than that. I can't drink. I don't like drinking anyway, but I can't drink. You can't do anything like, even like eating
physically strenuous.
Right. It's so strenuous on your body. Like, your body had to pop out a baby. It had to stretch to pop out a baby and to actually grow a child. And then it had to push out a baby. And then, hold on, I'm in a thing.
Okay,
and
sorry.
And then physically like shrink something. Like, no. You need to help me, sir. The fuck? No. All right, go ahead. What
you want to know what I want to do?
What?
I want to get on one of those fucking things where it'll like show you how much pain like a woman goes through while giving birth.
Podcast for another time, y'all.
Because I want to know how much pain that is.
It's a lot.
Oh, I'm definitely sure it's a lot. And I'm not even gonna do this because it's like, big Here's strong man. It's literally just for the thought of
no, like if your wife is gonna go through it, you should go through it too, kind of thing. Yeah. No, I agree. I also think we should do a period cramp one.
Oh, bad.
Because them shit suck too.
We need to Google that later.
We will. Well, this has been the Domino Effect.
This has been the Domino Effect. Hey, Sammy.
Hey, Xen.
What's the fucking song of the day?
I'm so happy you asked that.
This feels
song
like way too.
The day.
I felt like we phoned that shit in. Jesus.
Listen, that was actually not scripted, y'all. That was
oh, Jesus.
I actually forgot, but I did have a couple like written down until but
look at you being prepared as always.
The two of us, yes. So my song for this time is Hate Me by Ellie Goulding and Juice WRLD.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I have to listen to that later.
I'm surprised you haven't. It's very good. I absolutely adore it. I love Ellie Goulding and I love Juice WRLD. So.
And I love Juice.
Sorry, my throat has been.
My
voice has not.
You're fine.
Oh. But yeah.
I love Juice and I love Juice WRLD. This has been the Domino Effect.
Signing off, y'all.
See y'all later.